DepEd Teacher Isang Hiring Guidelines for SCI 2020-2021. Enclosure to DepEd Order No. 7, Series 2015. 7.1 Education 20 points. Education shall be rated in terms of the applicant's academic achievement. Thus, all subjects with corresponding units must be included in the computation. 7.1 Rating of education shall be based on the following equivalents, with 1.0 as the highest and 3.0 as the lowest. Applicants with non-education degrees shall be rated using their GW as in their baccalaureate degrees and the 18 professional units in education. If the school issues a certification of GWA with a corresponding percentage rating that does not conform to the above table, the committee shall refer to the grading system of the school. For schools with unique grading systems, a corresponding transmutation table shall be constructed. Applicants with a master's degree shall be given plus isang point, while applicants with a master's degree and with a doctorate shall be given plus 2 points. A. She must have obtained any of the following degrees, or its equivalent, degrees: Bachelor in Early Childhood Education, Bachelor of Science in Preschool Education, Bachelor of Science in Family Life and Child Development, Bachelor in Elementary Education, with specialization in Kindergarten, Preschool or Early Childhood Education, ECE, Bachelor in Elementary Education, major in teaching early grades, Bachelor of Arts, Science degree in discipline allied to education, such as psychology, nursing, music and arts, etc., with at least 18 units in content courses or subjects in ECE. Bachelor in Elementary Education, major in Special Education with 18 units in ECE, Bachelor of Secondary Education with additional diploma in ECE including practice teaching in kindergarten education, other degree courses and, with at least 18 units in Early Childhood Education. The Division Selection Committee may consider any other similar bachelor's degree in early education. B. In cases where there are limited eligible teachers with ECE units, the following measures may be adopted. Upon appointment, the teacher shall be required by the school's division office, SDO, to earn ECE units gradually. 9 ECE units may be earned at the end of Year 1, 18, 18 units, Year 2, and 21 units, Year 3. C. Kindergarten teacher applicants must not be more than 45 years old. Educational Qualification Requirement BSED BS Special Education with Specialization in SPED Undergrad BSED, BISP with 18 units MASPED and 3 years Actual Teaching in SPED vs Performance Rating BSED, BISP with 15 units MASPED and 4 years of Actual Teaching in SPED vs Performance Rating. BSED, BSPED with 12 units in MASPED and 5 years of actual teaching in SPED vs Performance Rating BSED, BS with 9 units MASPED and 6 years actual teaching in SPED vs Performance Rating BSED, BISP, BS with teaching experience in SPED or inclusive setting vs Performance Rating. In cases where applicants do not have the appropriate educational qualifications for SPED, they may still be evaluated but shall be categorized separately from those who have met the said requirements. B. She must have at least 3 years of experience in providing educational services to any of the categories of children with special needs. This is to be verified by a certification from the principal to be submitted as part of the application. C. A certification from the principal that the applicant has had a very satisfactory performance rating for the last 3 years must be submitted as part of the application. She must possess any of the following qualifications: Bachelor of Secondary Education, Major in Special Education, Bachelor of Secondary Education plus 18 units in Special Education in the graduate level, Bachelor of Secondary Education plus 15 units in Special Education with 2 years of very satisfactory teaching experience in the regular schools and is willing to be trained within a year. Bachelor of Secondary Education plus 12 units in Special Education with 4 years of very satisfactory teaching experience in the regular schools and is willing to be trained within a year. Bachelor of Secondary Education plus 9 units in Special Education with 6 years of very satisfactory teaching experience in the regular schools and is willing to train within a year. Bachelor of Secondary Education plus 2 years of very satisfactory teaching experience as a SPED teacher. Teaching experience in early childhood, kindergarten, preschool, elementary, secondary, tertiary, higher education, special education, alternative learning system, technical vocational education and training, learning institutions offering culture-based education programs for indigenous peoples even prior to passing the LET shall be given 1.50 points for every school year but shall not exceed 12 points. For every month of service, 0.15 points shall be given. Example, 8 months katumbas 1.20 points, 10 months katumbas 1.50 points. The full 0.15 point per month of teaching experience shall be given to the applicants who have come from schools and institutions that are government accredited or recognized. Certificates of employment shall be used to determine validity of teaching experience. Teaching experience of kindergarten volunteer teachers and LGU-funded teachers shall merit additional points on top of the score they obtain from the above points system, as follows. Less than 2 years experience katumbas 1.2 to less than 5 years experience katumbas 2.5 or more years experience katumbas 3 points. Equivalent points of applicants' rating in the LET PBET shall be as follows. LET rating points, PBET rating points. 87 and above 15, 82 and above 15, 84, 86, 14 points, 81 hanggang 83, 13 points, 79 hanggang 81, 14 points, 78 hanggang 80, 12 points, 76 hanggang 78, 13 points, 75 hanggang 77, 11 points, 73 hanggang 75, 12 points, 70 hanggang 72, 11 points. Specialized training for skills development in fields related to the work, duties, and functions of the teacher I position to be filled shall be given a maximum of 10 points. In the assignment of points, the following should be met: presentation of a certificate of at least 10 days training 5 points or nothing, demonstration of the skill 5 points or nothing. Language proficiency 2 points for those applying to teach in grades 4 hanggang 10. Familiarity with the day-to-day conversational language of the community needed to interact with community members and culture bearers 2 points. Familiarity with and respect for the community's culture 3 points. Undergone training related to the indigenization of the teaching-learning process 5 days 0.5 point, 7 days 1 point, 10 days and over 1.5 points. Has practiced appropriate indigenization of the teaching limang process in previous teaching engagements up to 4 points. If the total points reached by an applicant exceed 10 points, a rating of 10 is given. The Division Selection Committee shall interview applicants and ensure that all have equal opportunities to be assessed. Applicants shall be interviewed on topics such as professional experiences, instructional skills, technology, computer skills, classroom discipline, classroom management, knowledge of content, materials, planning skills, relationships with administration, staff, parents, and students, personal qualities. Applicants shall be rated based on the competencies and standards indicated below, thus, interview questions should be aligned with this. Teaching ability demonstrates an appropriate knowledge of content and pedagogy, conveys ideas and information clearly, provides reasonable examples of effective lesson planning, instructional strategies, and/or student assessment, makes content meaningful to students in the district, sets concrete, ambitious goals for student achievement, addresses the multiple and varied needs of students, focuses on achieving results with students, indicates confidence that all students should be held to high standards, maintains high expectations for students when confronted with setbacks, continues to focus on the students' academic success, reflects on successes and failures, assumes accountability for classroom environment and cultures, conveys reasonable understanding of potential challenges involved in teaching in a high-need school, demonstrates ability to deal effectively with negative student behavior, persists in offering viable or realistic strategies to deal with classroom management challenges, remains productive and focused when faced with challenges, conveys willingness to try multiple strategies or something new when things change or when confronted with challenges, displays willingness to adapt classroom management style to meet the needs or culture of a school, interacts with interviewer in appropriate or professional manner, respects the opinions of others, recognizes that families impact student performance, strategies create positive relationships with administrators, faculty, students, expresses personal and professional expectations and/or preferences that are in line with the school culture, demonstrates interests and skills that match the school's culture and needs, interacts appropriately with supervisors, colleagues, parents and students. The number of points attained for each of the tatlo listed competencies, teaching ability, classroom management, school fit, shall be added and then divided by 15, 15. The quotient shall then be multiplied by 0.10 or 10%. The product shall then be multiplied by 100. Example, sum of points attained for the 3 competencies katumbas siyam, 9/15 x 0.10, x 100 katumbas 6 na score for interview katumbas 6/10. Applicants shall be evaluated according to the rubrics indicated on the following pages. 7.7 English communication skills 15 points. An English proficiency test shall be administered to applicants by the National Education Testing and Research Center. The respective division testing coordinators shall coordinate with National Education Testing and Research Center regarding the conduct and schedule of the exam in their division, which should be within February to March. The total percentage score obtained by an applicant shall be multiplied by the weight of 15 points, as follows: percentage score katumbas 78% or 0.98 weighted points katumbas 15 rating katumbas 0.98 x 15 katumbas 14.7 points. 8.1 The RQA is the list of qualified applicants for appointment, which shall include their names, permanent addresses, and final evaluation ratings. 8.2 It shall be used in filling up new items and natural vacancies for teacher I positions. 8.3 The cut-off score for inclusion in the RQA is 70 points. 8.4 The RQA should isang be published in order of highest to lowest scores of the applicants, dalawang show both the results of each criterion and the final overall rating, tatlong only include those who obtained total scores of 70 and above, apat na indicate the date of posting, and limang be signed by the SDS. 8.5 Separate RQAs for kindergarten, elementary, and secondary shall be prepared by the division selection committees. The RQA for kindergarten shall be prepared by the division selection committee for elementary schools. 8.6 Subject area specialization of the qualified applicants shall be the primary consideration in the secondary school level. Thus, the applicant to be appointed should have the subject area specialization needed by the school. 8.7 The RQAs for secondary schools shall be prepared by subject area specialization, as follows: English, Filipino, algebra, trigonometry, geometry, statistics, general science, biology, chemistry, physics, araling panlipunan, edukasyon sa pagpapakatao, music at arts, physical education at health, and SPED. Depending on the school's TLE offerings, separate RQAs for agri-fishery arts, home economics, information and communications technology ICT, and industrial arts shall be prepared as well. 8.8 In schools with SPED teacher requirements, SPED specialization of qualified applicants shall be the primary consideration. As such, the applicant to be appointed should have the qualifications stated in Section 7.1.1.3. 8.9 Following DepEd Memorandum No. 141-S. 2013 on the hiring of graduates of 1,000 teachers program of the Philippine Business for Education, qualified applicants under PARBOD's 1,000 TIP program shall be given priority in hiring. 8.10 The RQAs should be ready by the last week of April of every year so that qualified applicants may be appointed by May 1. The RQA shall be valid for a period of 1 school year. 8.11 As a general rule, only applicants listed in the RQA are eligible for hiring and appointment, with priority given to bona fide residents of the barangay, municipality, city, or province in the order as aforestated where the school is located. 8.11.1 In cases where the number of qualified applicants from the barangay is greater than the number of available teacher items, priority in hiring shall be given to applicants from the barangay according to their overall rating number score in the RQA, from highest to lowest. The same rule shall apply in the appointment of applicants from the municipality, city, and province. 8.12 In cases where all those in the RQA have been appointed and assigned to their respective stations and there are still available positions, the concerned school's division office shall coordinate with a neighboring SDO whose RQA has not yet been exhausted and facilitate their applicants' deployment to the division, subject to the applicant's written concurrence. If an applicant refuses to be deployed to the other division, no deployment shall be effected. The evaluation process shall not be repeated. The scores given by the neighboring SDO shall be respected. 9.0 Appointment of qualified applicants. The school's division superintendent (SDS) shall 9.1 post the signed, complete results (RQAs) in at least 3 conspicuous places in the division office and on the website of the division office. The RQAs must have the contents indicated in Section 8.4. 9.2 Provide the school district and every kindergarten, elementary, and secondary school with copies of the RQAs for posting in their areas of jurisdiction. Regional directors, LGUs, and legislative district representatives shall also be provided with copies of the RQAs. 9.3 Advise newly hired teachers to report for their first day of work on May 15, if appointment papers are already in order. Regional directors shall regularly monitor and ensure strict compliance with the provisions of these hiring guidelines, as follows. 10.1 Dissemination and discussion of these guidelines with teachers, school heads, district supervisors, superintendents, and other schools division officials. 10.2 Preparation of schools to receive and acknowledge applications. 10.3 Organization of division selection committees and school screening committees. 10.4 Briefing and orientation of members of these committees regarding their roles and functions. 10.5 Preparation of scoring sheets, interview guides, and tests of applicants. 10.6 Briefing and information sharing with local governments and other local stakeholders in teacher hiring. 10.7 Preparation of a report on the observations, both positive and negative, in actual division practices in implementing these guidelines. And 10.8 Submission of said report on a quarterly basis to the Office of the Secretary through the Office of the Assistant Secretary for Planning. Aggrieved qualified applicants in the RQAs of the school's division office and those who are disqualified under Sec. 5-2-I of these guidelines may file a protest or complaint, respectively. 22.0 Repealing cause these guidelines hereby amend DepEd Order No. 14, S. 2014. Other rules, regulations and issuances which are also inconsistent with these guidelines are hereby repealed, rescinded or modified accordingly. The guidelines and criteria provided in this order shall take effect immediately.